You have 28 days to save a business. And this is actually a true story again. Well, they're all true stories. Maybe we should just call them case studies instead of me trying to convince you it's a true story. But it's a true story. And what this was a hairdressing salon in Scotland. And when she originally came to me, she told me that we have 4 weeks, 28 days to pay the inland revenue or they will close us. There's no question. So I thought, okay, how are we going to do this? It was in the city of Inverness in Scotland. There was a population of 125,000. And I worked out, the usual thing I do is I worked out if they had 5% of the marketplace, would it be enough? And if it was more than enough. And obviously they had less than 5% of the marketplace. So what I did with these guys is, first of all, we had a few problems with the team. So we had to get a new team as fast as possible. That's a whole different story. I'm going to focus on the marketing campaign of this. So I managed to get a new team into place extremely quickly, just using the system I always use. Works very, very well. So we got the team into place. The second thing I decided to do would be a massive boots on the ground, mass marketing, fusion marketing campaign. What actually is that? Well, really, it goes back to traditional marketing. Setting the online stuff up and testing the online stuff, we could do that, but it would take too long. I needed to have results for this client very, very quickly. And when I say very, very quickly, I'm talking about days, because at the point of her contacting me, she'd closed her business. So the business had been closed for about a week. So the first thing we needed to do was open the doors and make sure some money was coming in. Before they started, they were taking under £1,000. In the first week of working with me, they took around £3,000. And what we were doing is we were doing flyers, we were doing handouts, we were doing referrals, we were doing endorsements, we were doing posters, we were doing bus advertisement, we could get credit on, we were doing taxi advertising, get credit on, we were doing joint ventures in shops, we were doing everything. Everything you can think of, we were doing it, including social media and including online ads, but I did expect them to take longer. And at the end of this campaign, after I handed the business back to the client, she paid her fee for working with me. They were doing roughly £10,000 a week, and she managed to pay the invoice to the inland revenue before the 28 days actually arrived. So that was a really exciting one, but this is where, when I'm working with clients, I say, I'm not doing paper, I'm not doing flyers, I'm not doing this. But you know what, when you're working in a local town and you're doing local business, it's the perfect way. Take a piece of paper, put it in somebody's hand, make sure there's an offer on there that is completely irresistible and they will want to use. For example, in a hairdressing salon, it's very, very difficult to convince a client to move from that salon over there they've been going to for 15 years to come and try you. So the offer has to be completely irresistible. So if I remember correctly, there was about 15 to 20 different tactics we were using. But the overall strategy was, how do we become the #1 salon in this town in 12 months? And in actual fact, that salon not only survived, not only thrived, not only doubled in size, but ended up taking around £20,000 every single week until they moved premises into another salon. So that's an exciting one. But you have to remember that marketing isn't a single event. It's multiple events that all come together at the same time to create this almost like tsunami-like effect that creates this torrent of leads, torrent of interest, torrent of visibility, and torrent of awareness within a local town. And again, that was a very, very exciting one. So don't forget, guys, if you want more like this, subscribe underneath. And of course, go to orangebeetle.com, check out the shop. And if you need somebody to work with, you know exactly where I am. Go to the mentor page, read the details, ask for a no obligation call, and hopefully I'll speak to you in the near future. Thanks.